You know, pregnancy is a beautiful thing, right? And y'all take all these pictures now. I don't like some of them, but anyway. I digress. But you know, pregnant women are beautiful. Pregnant women are beautiful. And you know, when you first find out you're pregnant, you get coming up with all these names. What we gonna name the baby, and decorating rooms, what colors do I want, a boy, a girl? Wait to see what you're gonna have. You find out what you're gonna have. You find out what the name's gonna be, and all that excitement. But after a while, after all that stretching, ain't you just ready to get this thing out? Ready to get it over with. I mean, glory be to God. And something happens for a woman. Once her water breaks, that means, it may not mean it's happening right that moment, but it just means it won't be too much long from now. I need you to grab your neighbor by the hand and tell him, you may not see it, but the water has broken. Tell him, not too long from now, your baby gonna shout for you. Is that? Not too long. Not too long from there. Not too long from there. I don't say this stuff. I don't say this stuff just to make it sound good. I say it because I really believe it. And not only do I believe it, I've experienced it. I've experienced it. I experienced salvation in my family. I watched God save my father, who I thought would never get saved. But when I started actually believing that he could get saved, God saved him. And I'm not talking about kind of saved. He saved for real. And so I know the power of prayer. I know the power of healing. Glory be to God. And I'm looking at some of you in here. You got testimonies how we prayed, and you went back to the doctor, and the doctor found nothing. As a matter of fact, a lady last night in church, I prayed for her because she needed prayer, and she had a sickness in her body. She didn't tell me what the sickness was. So I prayed for the woman, and when I prayed, she fell out on the floor and said, ah! And I went to the next person. I'm just being real. And I saw over there in my peripheral talking to somebody. I'm like, this woman gonna try to sue me. The devil is a liar. And the woman got up and started running. That's right, y'all were there with me last night. She got up and started. She said, I got healed. And she said she had been limping into church every night. And then she started running up and down the middle aisle. But what she told me after church, and she was telling me, one of the elders, she says, when the preacher laid hands on me, I fell out, but I fell out in pain. I didn't push her down. I promise I didn't. But she went out in pain. But she said, but when she went down in pain, something shifted in her knee. She said the doctor had told her she was going to have a knee replacement. She said, but God replaced her knee in church. Tell your neighbor, God may have to hurt you just so he can bless you. You just went through something that you thought was hurt, but God just had to hurt you just so he could. So, Sister Elma, losing that job wasn't a bad thing. Where you are right now is not permanent. Your valley is not permanent. It's temporary. I need you to look at your neighbor, tell your neighbor, I'm not unpacking in the valley. Tell him, I'm not staying here. I'm just changing mountaintop. In order to go from one mountain to the next mountain, from one pay rate to the next pay rate. Tell your neighbor, I'm just changing pay rates. That's all. Yes, sir. So my grandmother, while we were in consecration, she stayed in the bed the whole week. My mother had to help her in and out of the bed. And so the thing they said, I'm just trying to build somebody's faith. Mama said, we're going to have to take her to the hospital and take her to the doctor because her back is not, she was crying. And so my grandmother in one room crying because she in pain. My mother helping her, and then they go to the next room and cry because they saw her crying. I'm just decided to stay at the church that whole week. And so my mother came to midnight prayer, and she said, y'all pray for Mama because I'm going to have to take her to the doctor. And because she was in, so hey, have you ever loved somebody and saw them in pain and wish you could take it from them? And I hated to see her in pain like that. And so when I left from church the next day to go take a shower to come back to the church, my grandmother was sitting on the porch, and my mother had pulled the van up. I said, oh, they're getting ready to go to the doctor. I said, how you doing, Mama? Praise the Lord. I said, y'all ready to go to the doctor? She said, no, I'm going fishing. She said, in my dream last night, now don't forget we were praying that night. She said, in my dream, I stepped over some water. And she said, I fell in my dream and I hurt my back. And she said, I started screaming out loud. And my mother heard her scream, but she thought it was somebody outdoors. I almost got my Gretna dialect, outdoors. My grandmother said when she woke up, she couldn't find the pain that she had. I come to tell somebody, you're going to go to bed tonight. But when you get up Monday, come on, this Sunday praise is producing a Monday miracle.